Preparing for exams can be difficult if you're unsure how to approach it. Here are some steps you can take to help you feel confident when it comes time to take an exam. Have regular review periods throughout the term. Studying for an exam shouldn't begin just a few weeks before. It should last the whole term. Studying this way will prevent having to relearn everything at the end of the year. While reviewing, keep track of the concepts you don't understand. Before studying, consult your textbook, a classmate, a tutor, or your professor or TA to help you understand. You should perform 3 types of reviews. A daily review. After each class, look over your notes and fill in any information you may have missed. A weekly review. At the end of the week, gather all of your class notes, summarize concepts, and make sure that you understand the material covered that week. And a final review. At least 3 weeks before your exam, begin extensively reviewing all course material that will likely be tested. The second step is planning. Don't just jump into studying for exams. A good plan can help you avoid procrastination or running out of time. Gather information about your exam. Your syllabus, lecture topics, and lecture notes can help you determine what will be on the exam. Your old tests can clue you into your professor's testing style. Figure out where you lost marks so you don't make the same mistakes again. Finally, try to find an old exam from the course, from the library, the department, or from other students. This can be used to practice and prepare. Now create a study schedule for yourself. Divide your material into small chunks rather than having a marathon study session. Also, plan time for fun so you don't burn out. It may also help you to set goals for yourself. This way you have something to strive for rather than studying aimlessly. You will be more motivated to start, and you can offer yourself a reward as incentive to finish. Now it's time to get down to the studying. Different strategies work for different people, so try some of the following and see which works for you. Actively engage your senses to avoid becoming bored with the material. Some ways to do this are: read your notes out loud instead of reciting them in your head. Teach the material to a family member or friend who isn't taking the course. Draw diagrams or concept maps to visually represent the information. And use this 3 R's strategy: read, write, and recite your material. Try to predict which questions will be on the exam, and then practice answering them. This helps you remember information as well as reducing anxiety by rehearsing the exam situation. Look to the course syllabus, PowerPoint slides, chapter titles, previous tests, and professor information in order to predict possible exam questions. Test yourself using a time limit that reflects the actual exam. Mark your practice test in order to find the areas where you're struggling. Spend some time studying these concepts until you're comfortable with them. Studying with a partner or group can offer you a fresh perspective on the material, motivate you, and help you to understand difficult concepts. There are several ways to make studying with a group more interesting and beneficial. You can quiz each other on the material, compare lecture notes to identify missing or additional information, teach each other difficult concepts, try to come up with questions that may be on the exam, or help one another to understand difficult concepts. It might also help you to create a concept map to visually represent information. A concept map is a diagram that connects different ideas or bits of information to one unifying theme or concept. You can also create drawings, graphs, and maps, anything that will help you visualize the information to make it easier to remember. Sometimes a subject requires straight memorization of facts. Memory aids like mnemonics and flashcards can help you remember this information. For example, you could create an acronym. An acronym is a word made up of the first letter of each concept. For example, BEDMAS represents the order of operations for math problems. An acrostic is a phrase whose words begin with the first letter of each concept. For example, the phrase, "My very excellent mother just served us nachos," can be used to remember the order of planets. Finally, analogies relate concepts to memorable images. For example, your brain is like a computer. Flashcards can also help you memorize. Write a question on the front and the answer on the back, and use them to quiz yourself. Bring them with you while you ride the bus or wait in line for quick study sessions. Once you have finished your exam, it's important that you go over your marked exam to identify your areas of weakness. Visit your professor during office hours and you'll likely be able to take a look. Try to figure out where you went wrong. For each wrong answer, ask yourself why you answered incorrectly. If you identify the problem, you'll be less likely to make a similar error on your next test. Did you run out of time to answer the question? Try to manage your time better while writing your next exam. Did you misunderstand the question? Look for keywords like explain, compare, discuss, or define in order to identify what kind of answer is truly required. Carefully read through each question rather than rushing to answer. Did you know the general concept but lack specific details? A more in-depth review of important concepts is required for the next test. Did you simply not know the correct answer? Identify the reason for your lack of knowledge. If you missed a class, know that you have to make more of an effort to catch up or ask a friend to take notes for you. If you didn't have time to study that section of the text, start studying sooner for the next exam, or learn better time management strategies. If you simply didn't study that part of the text, you will have to try better to identify which subjects will be featured on the next exam. Good luck with your tests!